Let's talk now about an important thing about writing, the marking criteria, because these are the things you want to hit to score a good mark. Now, this is according to PTE, but an important thing that is missing here is the task response. So the thing is, if your answer is off topic, you're talking about something else, you lose all your marks. It says in the marking, if you don't write in English, you lose marks, obviously. Some students ask me if we should write everything in capital letters. If you do that, you will lose all your marks as well. So those things will give you a straight 0. Avoid them, but let's focus on the things that will give you good marks. So coming to content, and this is where I remember the task response. Of course, it has to be accurate. Make sure you're answering the question, and a very good way to do this is to write an outline before you start. Making a quick outline will make sure that you are focused on the question even as time runs out, because when people usually start writing, they go off topic near the half of the writing. So if you make a skeleton, make an outline at the start, you will not go off topic, and that's a great way to keep your content on track. The second thing is structure. So we'll discuss later on in detail how the structure is supposed to be, how the paragraphing is supposed to be. You need certain bodies, and depending on the topic, we're going to get into all those things. But a structure basically means you have your introduction, you have your conclusion, and the body paragraphs should just have 1 point per body paragraph. Okay, 1 point per body paragraph in detail. That's the summary, but we're going to look at some samples and templates and structures later. Length is simple, 200 to 300 words. I've seen other exams give some room, so you would have, you can write 195 words. PTE does not, so you got to write 200 to 300. Make sure you do exactly that, nothing more, nothing less. There's a linguistic range and there's a vocabulary range. So what's the difference here? Vocabulary range means the words themselves. So you use some decent day-to-day words, but less of them, and more of the really complex, unique words that nobody uses. So a word like good would be decent, usual, day-to-day. I would use one good, but I want to use 5 more instances where I say magnificent, terrific, out of the ordinary, out of the box, and something, again, something better than good. I could say it is superb. Okay, so words that people usually don't use and that are more academic. Linguistic range, on the other hand, has to deal with you using different parts of speech. So not just using nouns or verbs, but using adverbs, lees. So greatly, quickly, slowly. Adjectives, using them like terrific, terrible, detrimental, big, small. Things to define things. So using parts of speech, adverbs, adjectives, nouns, and verbs, all those are considered linguistic range. Grammar and spelling, this should go into separate columns actually. Grammar, of course, make sure you don't make any grammatical mistakes. And spelling, make sure you don't make any spelling mistakes. I think that's pretty straightforward. Now let's jump into some samples in another video here.